Hello everyone, it's Melanie here with Vintage Hill Studio, and I have to admit I am wildly obsessed with anything vintage, and I'm not apologizing for it. I have so much fun with this. This is a little booklet called the Workbasket. It is actually was 15 cents, found it in a thrift store. It's seen better days, got some stains and tearing, and it's kind of brittle, and it is from 1960. It says April of 1960. There's even some Lenten and Easter ads in this little booklet. But look at the treasures in here in these ads. Oh, just love it. From flowers to cooking to, congregating with your girlfriends and so forth. It is just a real prize. So, mainly has to do with people who stayed at home as homemakers and so forth, quite a bit on that. But moving forward here in 2024, I've found a way to repurpose this and really had fun. So today I'm doing a little fun fold card. It is actually a corner fun fold, meaning that the little corner piece will hold the fun fold on the front of your card. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Now look at this ad. Who is this guy? It looks kind of like a pope, but I think he's supposed to be like a chiropractor. Anyway, moving on. I'm using this Newsworthy 12 by 12 paper pad. I thought it would look great for talking about a girdle here. I needed some type of paper with these beautiful ladies on it. All of the supplies and dimensions, as well as all of these instructions for the mats and the card itself, can be found in this description below this YouTube video. So the first thing I'm going to do here on this mat is score this at 4 1/4. I'm actually goofed up on that, but that's okay. Just moved over another little 1/8 inch there. And those will be all of the mats that I'm going to use for the primary base of this card. I love, love, love these papers. It's really going to show off the ads here, so I'm excited to share this little fun fold with you. The gray circular mat is actually a silicone microwave mat from a big box store. And anytime I'm working with a tape runner or anything that's really sticky, I like to use this silicone mat because your adhesives will not stick to the silicone, which makes your work surface so much more conducive to helping you out instead of, causing you trouble here with adhesive that may get onto the work surface and cling to your project. So anyway, use a silicone mat if you're using any kind of adhesive like this and needing to go over the edges. Now here is that small mat. Again, like I said, I will have a listing of all of these precise dimensions in the description below this video. This card is really simple to make once you have the recipe for all of these cuts that you need to make. Now this is going to be the inside card part of the fun fold. You're just going to score this, fold it over. You can see it makes a nice little small card base that's 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. 2 1/2 inches by 3 3/4 when it's finished here. Now, this little card is going to be facing backwards or to the left. So it's going to open from the left to the right inside the larger card. This is the fun fold portion of it. So when you're getting ready to put on your mats, keep in mind that the first one's going to go on the back side, left hand side over here. All right. Then you're going to leave that right hand side just plain because that's going to be glued into the main part of your card base. And we'll get to that in just a second. This little mat, I chose to go with kind of an ivory color because this is where you will write your note to your recipient. Now we're moving on and getting to where we're going to use the ad from that Workbasket periodical. I'm going to put that right here. This will actually be showing up on the front of our card. So I've just cut this out with my scissors because I didn't want to mess up the rest of that ad. I have plans for that, trying to use every piece and part that I can in my cards, doing justice with the repurpose project here so as to waste very little of this vintage ephemera. I just love, love, love it. So we're getting the main portion of this girdle here for that, and I thought I'd back it with black so it really stands out, since there's not much going on this front part of our fun fold. Get that put right in there, and then I will move on to see what I'm going to do with the rest of that ad. Look at that. A little over $5 for this girdle. If you really want to torture yourself, you'd buy a girdle. Okay, I'm trying to get this to fit in the best way I can. I've got to get rid of that Pope / chiropractor there on the left side. He's kind of creepy. Got a lot of directions for somebody buying a girdle. Meaning, the main point here in this ad that it would relieve back pain. Look at that. Relieves nagging backaches. Isn't that hilarious? If you wear this girdle, it's going to cure your backaches. Maybe it did. I don't know. All right, I'm trying to see how to get the most bang for my buck here on how to use all of these little pieces of ephemera. And I think I've got it about figured out, so I'm going to start with this mail-in portion here that's got all the directions that you need if you wanted to send off for this girdle. Here's exactly where you need to send your money. And then I'm going to get the other little ad put in here. Want to make sure that you know about this. Trying to place it up under her arm and near the waist area there. And then this contraption of a girdle. It's even got a little flounce on there, so I'm guessing you couldn't wear this with slacks. It's supposed to only go under dresses, because how would that little ruffle work under pants? I guess people didn't wear pants too much with the girdles. Not at this point. Now I want to make sure nobody forgets about how this works on your backaches. And I'll just trim that off, and then we'll be ready to use that inner smaller card in just a second. But first we need to make our corner piece that's actually going to hold the smaller card closed when the front and the inner card are hooked together. I'll show you. It's really hard to explain, so I'll just show you here. Now with my paper cutter, this particular one has that wire, and it really helps if you're trying to cut straight from corner to corner on this to give yourself your triangle. That's what I do. I use that guide there. Okay, I'm going to get this put on my card front. You can see I adhered everything together before I cut my triangles. It's just easier that way for me. And then I'm going to line up that outer edge with that red mat. That helps me place my corner where I need it to go. And you can see I only glued around two sides, not this cut open side, but the two edges, because you want to leave your corner open so that your card will slip right into there, the smaller card. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping here. Again, I will list these stamps in the description and supplies area below this video if you're interested. I like this dress form. I use it quite a bit. It's from Tim Holtz. And then this little stamp set was from scrapbook.com. It's a stamp and die set. And then I'm just going to add a little happy birthday. This clear stamp was from Amazon. You can find a lot of beautiful little stamps, especially if it has anything to do with sewing. Those are hard to find. Amazon's got them. Just so happens to have the perfect size of a happy birthday sentiment. And now we're ready to put this card together. So what I like to do is tuck this into my corner down there and kind of gauge the border around that smaller card. Then I'm going to take a little piece of washi tape and get that put down to hold it for me while I do my gluing. Now remember, this card is going the opposite direction. It's going to open from right to left instead of left to right. So the easiest thing to do is just close the back of your card over that glued portion, let it dry, and then remove your washi tape, and your fun fold card is done. Thank you so much for dropping by today. If you're interested in doing this fun fold card, I think you would be very happy with how quickly it goes together. And if you like using ephemera like I do, this makes a perfect fun fold to showcase that ephemera. Hey, if you feel like leaving me a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. Want to know if you ever run across any type of little ephemera like this and don't know what to do with it. Let me know. Let me know what your ideas are. I love to learn from other people. If you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. There's a subscribe button in the lower right hand corner if you're watching from your laptop. And if you're looking on YouTube, there's a subscribe below the video. Happy crafting, everyone!